Hi everybody and welcome back. This is Frog Snack. Welcome to the Test of Time Challenge. This is going to be episode 17, I believe. And I finally got around to the house that started it all. And this is way more overbuilt than it was when I first put it together. But this is Covale's house. A couple things to note about the house other than it's really opulent, I guess is the word you would use. Camry has a lot of money. He actually owns the only clothing store in town, and I've built up his land quite a bit. Oh, I didn't realize he's got gardening to do over here. Okay, I don't want to forget that. They have all the exotic fruits and stuff. A couple things to note about Camry. He is actually where my whole story branched off in a crazy way. So I was playing the Test of Time Challenge. Camry is generation, where are we at, sir? I'm going to click over at him right quick. He's sleeping. He's generation 2. So Yafeu Cove was, well, and I really started the whole challenge at generation 2. I kind of skipped one and I created, it's weird the way the genealogies are, but basically I started in this area. So really he's gen 2 and gen 3 are his children. But it's important to note that he is the youngest Cove. And I went ahead and checked my notes because, his father has fallen off. One of the Sims that had not been ported over to Sunlit Tides when I came over here. But most of his siblings are elders or already dead, which is important. Also, a couple of his siblings have been forgotten about. So let's see how many emperors would have to die before he would have to be the emperor. Probably 5. Different heads of families before he was the next senior member. So here's Boyd. Stuart is his brother. Stuart is part of the reason that I started filming in the first place. He died early on, so he didn't get into to be too. He was older than Camry, but not by a whole lot. And then Marcos. You can tell Marcos already an elder. And Camry is not at all. He's not even an adult yet. He's a fourth of the way through his being an adult period, so he's only halfway through young adult. And Maya is his wife that he remarried. So the heir of the house is Adonis, and Adonis was a product of his union with his first wife, with Adelaide. Adelaide was super pretty. I was excited. I think she had the strawberry blonde hair that I like, but it does not matter. Or she was blonde, I don't remember. But she was just pretty in general. She was one of the CAS Sims that I had introduced to Rome. And Camry, ironically, even though he is disciplined, good, natural cook, party animal, and family-oriented, is actually the first Sim I had that got into a fight with his wife, and she lost, and according to the challenge rules, she died from that fight. So he's a good Sim, and he's family-oriented, but he killed his wife, which is horrible. And she had good reason to be angry with him. Now, he's still enshrined her memory all the way at the back of the house. So here's Adelaide all the way back here. And I keep meaning to give her a little bit more space, but I thought it would be kind of like an honorary. So he donated this area to her because she loved the outdoors and that. So here's their wedding arch, and here's the place that, basically because she died on the lot, but this is the area that he made for her. So it's her pool, right? Or her lake, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, the other thing about him is he likes to party, so he's a little bit of a jock. We got some jock things happening without jocks mattering yet. And this is one of the first mansions I had to build other than the Emperor's Mansion, and I've built into it quite a bit. There's also babies everywhere, literally sticking their butts out of the floor. So I'll try to tell the story properly, and it's obviously been a while since before I even decided to record and had to figure out how and all that. But what happened was Camry was living with his brother Stuart, and they both had a wife, their own wives, and they had 2 different areas of, I think one family was going to live on this side and the other on this side. So even the way the setup was, it was just going to be kind of like a bachelor pad, or we were going to have 2 families living in the same house. Because I thought, why not? The Coves only have to have 2 children, and after that you can stop. This entranceway is one of my favorites. I love it in here. So I've downloaded a lot of patterns and things that I use specifically for some of the richer Sims. I consider that they have access to things more than other Sims do. This is the dining room. I absolutely love it. Love it. And he has a lot of space that he just wastes. He just doesn't use much of it. Now, I am going to change a couple of these areas. I'll probably make a little memorial area because I've done some studying on how, in Rome, how they did memorialize people. And they probably would have had some kind of an indoor shrine with some rituals where you would say, like, good morning to your relatives. So for the sake of that, as they didn't, this is before Christianity or anything, although those did overlap eventually in Rome. But there would be a lot of pagan beliefs and just general, like, spiritual beliefs that people don't hold anymore and don't remember what they are in the first place. But they would have, like, a little shrine and probably some kind of a ritual. So what I was thinking about doing was maybe, like, a little sink, and they would wash their hands every morning or something and just have a habit. Because it really was a habit plus the memorial item or the vase or whatever. So this is also one of the first places I had to put, like, bathrooms in. Because they didn't, that I installed a new bathroom without having to work around a lot of other things. So I spent a lot of money in his house. I don't know the value of it, but it's a lot. His lifetime wish pertains to martial arts. I just downloaded this painting. Somebody did a bunch of paintings of so this is Shang Sim La. I did send him so he could learn eventually, but it kind of got my game a little corrupt, so I'm not going to send anyone again. So this is just what he brought back. I love this vase, though. That's awesome. So, yeah, so he just has a memorial of his trip, and this room, of course, is great for parties, etc. And they have a little band space so that he can have people over. I just added the Jim over at Mod The Sims. I think his name is the Jim, JIM07. It does amazing. He did Palace of Versailles. A lot of the stuff he does is French artwork, but he does some beautiful things that you can use for your wealthier Sims. Also, he had a spot in here, and they were using it to just cheat their age down, so I had to, like, play them extra and make sure they were even with everyone else, and I just gave up and put a hot tub here. But I thought it would have been cool to have, like, a whole indoor massage parlor spa area or whatever, which if the Emperor's house wasn't so crazy already, I probably would add stuff like this. But I love these dark colors. So again, this is Khemri's pad, which is pretty good, and then the other thing I'll note is not only is Adelaide buried on site, but his brother Stuart is right here. So Stuart died of jelly bean bush, ironically, and I think these are cinnamon trees. Yeah, I think they're from an update too. They're beautiful, right? So there was a jelly bean bush right here, and Khemri realized that it had poisoned his brother, and so installed this little memorial pot instead. And his brother is buried by the pond where he used to fish. So this is probably the only remnant of the original lot where there was a pond. Either that or this is a new lot and we added the pond to it, which is a little more likely. So that's your history of it. Now to get into Maya. Hi Maya, how's it going? Well, actually, let me just go into Khemri again real quick. So Khemri's brother had a son, and his son Archelaus is in the games right now and has yet to fight to the death. But what happened was there was an argument over Vetus, his mom. So Vetus was living in as the live-in servant, and basically Stuart kind of fell in love with her or whatever. I think this was before. Maybe he didn't have a wife. Maybe he just fell in love with their servant, right? Because Khemri had a match, but Stuart didn't yet, or something like that. And they were young, and so he had a baby with Vetus. And Vetus was, okay with all that. She's a little bit of a loner, right? But she's inappropriate enough. Now, the rules of the challenge, actually, if a servant has relations with anybody in the house and it's witnessed by an emperor, they get sent to the games. But in this case, it was with an emperor, so, right, who cares? But the child couldn't be legitimate. So Archelaus was not legitimate. He was sent to the games and has grown up in that household since he was a child. But it probably wouldn't have been that way. Stuart would have let him stay in the house if he had stayed alive. But what happened is Khemri actually, I don't remember, I think Stuart died first. That's right. So Stuart died because I put that stupid jelly bean bush in, and he went over, had one bean, and immediately fell over dead. And I was like, what the heck? But he had already had a child, right? So I think Vetus was pregnant or something, or had just had her baby. I don't remember. And Khemri was upset, and she was upset, and he went to comfort her, and then he conceived a child, or he cheated on his wife with Vetus, is what happened. Now, Vetus wasn't pregnant from that, but he kind of had a tryst. And Adelaide, his at the time wife, where are we at? Who is his, so Adonis's father. So him and his brother both had a child at the same time. They both had a son in the house. But his brother's was from the servant girl Vetus, and Kemmery's was from his wife Adelaide, who still was kind of a servant. She was one of the CAS Sims I had imported from Rome. So here's Adelaide, which, yeah, she comes out once or twice. She doesn't come out a lot. She used to more in the beginning, as they say. Okay, so Adonis is his heir, and Adonis's mother passed away before he knew her, which is really sad. So the whole thing was pretty sad. And basically, Adelaide had, so she became irritated, obviously. She had just given birth to her son, that Kemmery cheated on her with the servant, and confronted him about it. And all he did was try to calm her down. This was the only interaction I gave him. He tried to calm her down, and that did not work. And she jumped him and tried to beat his ass and lost. So she actually attacked him, but he started it in a way. So it was a really complicated thing. So he was sad for his brother's death. The servant that his brother had a child with was sad. They comforted each other, but it didn't work out that way. And Adelaide also died because of it. So that situation was crazy enough that I was like, why am I the only one playing this game? I need to share this with people. And Adonis, which I have no idea what he's going to look like as an adult yet. He's got, I do have aging on, so we'll have to find out. But Adonis is the product of that union, and Acacius is the unlucky product of a union between basically an emperor and a slave caste, and so he's in the games. He was drawn. It wasn't that he was sent intentionally. His name was chosen, and he ended up in the first set of games and just was too young to fight. So, so that's a lot so far. So Adonis is inappropriate, he's perceptive, and he loves the heat. And everybody loves a person who's inappropriate and perceptive. So there we go, my mods are kicking in, so I've got relativity on here. And then I'll bop next door before I give these guys too much to do and let you know what happened. Maybe with the Saulsonescas or how they grew up. Maybe I'll do that real quick. Just because I already showed you around this house, I'll show you the neighbors that we just came back from. So I did finish playing them. No, go ahead. And we'll just pop over here so you can see what's going on with their family, because a bunch of people did grow up to at least one other age state. I don't know what household you are. Okay, so here's Epaphras. Also, I changed their eyes were super weird last time I filmed. So I've got them on a new default, which is bigger, just like you're bigger. She's got babies again, yeah, so I like this default. I don't know if I'll use it permanently, but it's working for now. I like how the colors come out. But I wanted to point out this dude, Angelo, who's super cute and super casual right now. Look at his blue eyes. So he has blue eyes, and he's the kid with the purple hair. So that's how he grew up looking. And I did change, of course, he had like some basic hair because I changed it. So he's got kind of an elven look to his face. He's really cute so far. And then we have Valaria, who was the baby last time I was playing. What's up, lady? So she's super cute, brown eyes and brown or black hair. And we've got a new baby, Taguhi, which is from the elder couple in the family, right? So that's Datuk and Julius. Helen is pregnant again to get her and Epaphras to the number they have to be at. And Elsipe, whose name I was saying incorrectly forever, it's not a Clippe. I always read it like a Clippe. Her name is Elsipe, and she grew up really pretty. I love her. And this is the hair she grew up with, and I just left it, and she has, like, olive gold eyes. Yeah. So she's pretty cool. Now, her personality, she's absent-minded genius. She grew up to be eco-friendly and artistic. And this is Finnegan, her best friend, is back over. I don't know if there will be something from that. There could be. She would end up marrying down to be a slave like he is, but they could get together if they like each other in the future. which I'll explain that in a minute. So here's Angelo again. Angelo's absent-minded, athletic, and friendly. So he grew up good, and Valaria is brave and hydrophobic. She grew up hydrophobic, and I got to choose, and I gave her brave just to make up for the fact that she was afraid of water. So a couple other things about Rome. They are very militaristic. Let me just switch back over. Yes. So that's why a lot of the Sims that I play in the town that are of a higher caste, that are emperors or that are patricians, if they're not artsy-fartsy in some way, they're in the military or in sports or they're doing something athletic. Now, Khemri here I thought was in the military or in politics. Politics is another thing that the emperors uniquely get to do. And he's ended up team captain, so he's actually Epaphras' boss from next door. So he's in sports, which I didn't realize. So Maya, anyway, long story short, Maya is his new wife, and I don't recall where they met anymore. Here's Gabby and, wait a second, Benjamin and, are they brother and sister? Wait. These two are cousins, second removed, something like that. Because Gabby is Khemri's mom, damn it. Sorry. How did I just notice? I think the game got them together, but I don't recall. And last time I played, they were together, and here he's got the same mom as her grandma, and let's do the math on that. He's her uncle. That's nasty. This game is hilarious. Oh, so we'll just see what their babies come out like, because they already have babies. So there you go. I can't wait till this gets more convoluted. But as we have more kids, hopefully there will be further and further distant relations. But my goodness, and her family line remembers, so Geraldine's her mother. So maybe it's from Boyd remarrying. That might be what happened. Because if I click on Boyd, it doesn't know Geraldine. So it could be one of those things where it's a half siblings, half nephew. Okay. Baby, I don't... She's holding the baby and that's her? Is that what's supposed to be going on here? They didn't look like this last time I played, I swear. Dang it. It's like the further we advance, the more somebody ends up Sharknadoing through the floor. I probably should reset the town eventually, but, right, maybe Maya will show up eventually, sooner rather than later. I swear she was here last time. Anyway, I love this nursery too. Even the nursery is open and beautiful. And this is where the servants and the children will sleep, right? And that's Madonna is the current servant in the house. So the Coves have to have one, right? So she's a slave, and her father, oh look at, and she's dating Timon. Well, she's romantic interest with Timon, who's in the gladiatorial house, excuse me, and he's wearing black and red, which is how I set them apart, just so you can visually see. But she's also dating Gale, and Gale is that kid that grew up super burly a couple episodes ago in one of the Cove houses, the one that had 3 generations, and it was like Stavros with the black hair, Atalo with the red, which, by the way, that was Atalo last episode that was drawing, so I can't go over there and finish that artwork. And yeah, so that's what was going on. She cannot have a part-time job. And I still don't, have a school in town, simply because even if I had one, I would have to get rid of it immediately for the next, in the next couple generations. Put it in and out of the town. I don't know if I want to mess with it. And Rome doesn't seem to need one right now, too, because there's not a whole lot of people that can benefit from having an education. They're pretty much militaristic, and they just need to work out for that, so I don't really see the use of them having a school system. And there might be 597 is the save I would be on right now. Right, but if there becomes a use for having a school, like other jobs open up, or they get different kinds of commerce, or there's an emperor whose personality fits something like education, then I might do it. But I'm going to try and let it be similar to how Rome used to be. Where'd you go, Khemri? Bro, oh, you're in here. I didn't realize that was a bathroom. How clever. Alright. So anyway, he's super big-nosed, and I always overlook it, because I think he's cute. But then with these default eyes... How you looking today? You gotta look anywhere. look irritated. Yeah, I put these new defaults in and I like them, but they make him look kind of irritated anyway. And then he has to show me that he's annoyed. He's a good dad, though. The family-oriented trait really helps. And actually, Stuart sometimes comes out of his grave and reads one of the kids to sleep, and that's what I've seen before. And he actually was reading the neighbor's kids to sleep at one point. I took a screenshot of it. And Madonna's doing her work. Who is she stepsister of? Come here now. Alright, so, so Demetrius and Nikki, who keeps rejecting her husband, who is winning in the games, right? He won a day with her and she rejected him. Right, Madonna is a product of that union and one of the eldest. A lot of their kids are too young. Here's Chrysanthi. Name means golden. Agape, love, blah, blah, blah. Nike, victory. Aurora, I don't remember. Cleopatros, Connie, and Jameson. Yeah, I'm going to be changing those names. I guess they had babies when I wasn't looking. Game should prompt me, but... Do you like how I zoom out so I don't have to hear the babies instead of having them set up? Go help the child. One of these days. Look, he's right in the nursery. So I have this set up so he never has to be in here, and he's a good dad and he's in here all the time. So it kind of broke my heart when he was like he seemed like he was really in love with his wife, but then I helped him cheat, let's be honest. So maybe he's more mature and regrets all that. I would like to think so. Plus he has that whole shrine for her built, so Maya, way to not suck at life. You're invisibly cooking. This is annoying to me. Madonna doesn't care. She's like, yeah, this is how it is around here. It happens all the time. Oh, she's having a scone. Yes, have yourself a scone. Awesome. Alright. And her eyes are amazing. And I don't remember whose eyes they are. But yeah. Maya is pretty, I think. And, oh wait, this is Madonna. I'm so sorry. Okay, Madonna. Demetrius doesn't have blue eyes like that, so I'm really not sure if the game has variants to the eyes the way that it does to the hair, where the hair can be black or gold. I don't think it has a brown variation, but if it's not going to follow one of the parents, it'll go like straight black or straight blonde or something. Do they have a pet? No. Somebody's starving to death, and I can't click on them. Who is it? It's you. Sorry, just checking. It seems like you got everything under control here, Maya. We were gonna see how pretty you are. Look how she looks like she's possessed. She's got no irises. Alright, I don't know why everybody always wants to buy a planter bowl, and you can't have a job, so I'm gonna let her quit science, which nobody had in this time period in the first place. The other cool thing about the Coves is they've had enough babies she can already stop because she had triplets. Let's quit your job. So if I were to give a housewife a job of any kind, it would be something like around the family farm or selling vegetables or fruit at a fruit stand, or just something that traditionally they would have done back in the day. I'm guessing science fits her a little bit better, and I am really curious as to why the game paired them up too, because brave, perceptive, charismatic, easily impressed, born saleswoman? Maybe she was a shop girl in one of his stores. Disciplined, good, natural cook, party animal, family-oriented. So, I don't know. And I hope it wasn't one of those where she was just the eligible bachelorette and we needed somebody, because it could have been that. I could have just let him have one child and not remarry, which is probably what I should have done. But bloody favoritism over here, I really like him, so... and the reason the painting is here is she had sunflowers and all of that Adelaide did in her room. So that's the story of how I started the challenge, or why I started it. Just, I had to, after all that craziness happened, and at the same time, I don't know, I think it's all really beautiful, the setup and the house and the town and sunlit tides, and I just kept running into things that I wanted to share with people, and that's really where that came from. So the Roman era has been a lot of fun so far because I get to put statues and things all over the place. I'm relegating it to just a couple of them, you know, the ones that are more mystic, or like a Pegasus or something that they might not have had till medieval, or something else, or even Victorian I'm not worrying about. Actually, they probably would have had a Pegasus in Rome now that I think about it. I was just trying to keep it to things that looked Greek. I'm not at all up on yeah, you know, like the different stories of the gods and goddesses. I probably should be in order to play Rome, but I don't care. Are you having a scone too? You're having a cookie. So, like, why is she cooking? Did she make cookies? Oh, are y'all talking? He looks irritated. Yeah. Yep. Happily married, these two. Look at this. Yeah, next time don't burn it and I won't have to have cookies for breakfast. You tell her, man. Oh my gosh. And yeah, so I spent some time organizing my mods and I got some of the skipping out. I had one Sims 2 package in everything. What is this? Oh, we drinking nectar now? Oh, I didn't know we had a nectar box, whatever, in here. I wonder what room I put that in, because it's not in the kitchen. Oh, it's over here. These are probably set to taste. Yeah, these are set to taste. That's a debug option. Alright. Well, it's good to have options, I suppose. Thanks. Rolling plate just goes through the room. Yeah, so this is their kitchen. Again, I tried to make the best use of the space. I love that she's able to clean it when it's actively on the floor, and then... No, you're not... No, you're not gonna relax. You're the servant, so the servants have to fix stuff. You're gonna repair this. Why don't you go to snuggle a baby? Who needs snuggles? Nobody. Where are ya? Maya. She's super juiced. They always come back super juiced. Drinking nectar makes you happy. She's drinking nectar. I just told her to take care of her kids, and she's like, no, I'm gonna get drunk. That's a rich person for you, I guess. Is that Adonis being adorable? Yeah, I took out... Try to not have him have cars and stuff. A little bunny. It's a bun. That's cute. He plays with it like it's a truck. But there's no trucks. Oh my goodness. Alright, and Nero. Alright, so where's Nero? What do you need, sir? Nothing, just social. And energy. Snuggle with... It's probably too much. I don't need all that. And she's in the other room. And this is hilarious because I was able to name her that, and I did. I looked up old Roman names of them. You can tell I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel when I name them Various and Hilarious, and I have 2 Sims with those names. So that's what that is. Alright, she's excitable and friendly. See why I had to make her hilarious? Of course I did. Social hunger, etc. Camry, what do you have on your plate today, literally? What are you doing? Working. He does not have to work. That's the thing. He was just going to take care of the shop. So I don't know if when I played with him before he had a job, I'm just going to let him quit if he feels like it, or work if he feels like it. But he's social. I should probably use it as an excuse. To get him to know everybody. Excuse me. Alright, so come on, lady. What's he up to? He's cleaning up. Good job, dude. Oh, and he's tired and stuff? Alright, well, why don't you... give bottle, and then there's gotta be a rocking chair maybe in the other room. There's only the one, so I'll have him rock with her. And that'll get his sleep up. Yeah, so anyway, this should be a fun week playing these guys. I'm gonna try and see what this kid looks like without the stupid crown on his head. I don't think I gave it to him. I guess I could have. You're not gonna get a computer. I don't care how rich you are. Those don't exist yet. So stop asking. Okay, she did make cookies. Alright, but you can tell the richer Sims that, you know, I give them all marble and things like that. I love these patterns. This is a downloadable marble pattern, so... Right, so maybe I can just send him into town with Madonna, and they can just get to know other Sims in town, or I'll do something like that with them. Right? So these guys don't have to do agriculture or farming, and it frees up a lot of time for art, or really to socialize with each other. And there's a rule I've been ignoring this whole time, too, which is when somebody marries up and they marry an emperor, like when a girl does, She's supposed to max charisma, which I think I've only done once in the entire time I've ever played The Sims 3. Like, I hate having them just talk all day when they could be learning something. Even if they're learning how to talk, it bothers me, so. So I'll have to get better at that, because it is one of the rules I'm supposed to be abiding by. And that's just you again, so she didn't appear yet. Well, at least she's doing her servant-y thing. Also, I have a mod for cleaning house. So I'll let her clean the whole house after this, because that's her job. And maybe when she's done with her chores, they can go, okay. I don't know what she's happy about. Alright, and pick up hilarious. Oh, you can eventually do that. Not that we'll know if you did it. It's just she's rocking. This is how she rocks. So I'm going to, I think, stop this here and come back towards the end of the week and give you an idea of what happened, because this is already just Sunday. We've got to get through the end of the week here, and Kemry's family, this is not where I started my videos at. I'll have to go back to video 1 and see which family I started my video rotation with. I might have rotated a couple times before or gone through a couple families first. But I did start doing it one... Alright, I'll buy you a second chair. It just won't look very pretty. I'll hope you're happy. Alright, right, anyway. So the point is, after this, I have to go around to a Bupkis family, and I know I don't think I've filmed them. That's Seneca and Serena, maybe? I forget the wife's name. And there's a couple other Bupkises over here. There's the Mick Edifice, though. Maybe I didn't play them. So I'll go back and just double check where I started, and when I get to where I started, although I'm tempted, I might honestly just make him the fulcrum because I'll remember it. But what I need to do is get them back to 80-day lifespan. They were on 90. So that's something that I had incorrect in the last half of this whole town that I played. Got an extra 10 days at life while I was playing 7 of their days, which makes it longer for me. So I might just have some things be off camera. I want to get through these guys, and we've got, it's a really long challenge. So I can't play every family, I don't think, on camera just because I won't get it done. And I want to have these, have enough change when you guys see from one to the next, like what really happened. But I feel like a lot can happen in a week too, so I love doing the recaps, but when I limit to the beginning and the end of a week, it just feels like it takes a lot longer to get videos out than maybe it would if I did 3 families at a time and then I did a video of all of them. So if you have a preference, if you want to see every family, let me know. He's party animals. He's going to come out here and dance. But if you want to see every single family, I can try to swing that. I just can't guarantee that I can get everyone. So, like, I'll try. But I would much rather be able to put out videos and get a lot done in the game, too, so that it's not just this never-ending story. Because Generation 3, what is he, 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, whatever it is, of 20 is not that much, and if this is a challenge I can actually film, it's got to be reasonable, so I'll figure it out. But until then, thank you for watching. Kemry, my favorite person ever, that I really mean this time, totally really mean it, and I know I have a favorite in every house, but that's how it goes, and I don't like that it's still doing something. I got a script error somewhere. I might have an old mod and just not realize it, because like I had to recover all my mods, so we'll see. I'll tweak it again when I get time, but other than that, thank you for joining me. I'll get you an update on what's going on with these guys, and yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe instead of an update I should just play a whole day, is what I was trying to do, but the game hasn't been fast enough to do that lately. So yeah, let me know preferences, what you'd like to see more of and what you'd like to see less of, because if I'm not filming most of their time, I'd like to show you the parts you care about. So, alright everybody, I know this is kind of a shorter one, so again, when I get a little bit more time, I'll film again, and I'll try to film these guys again too. Like, hopefully there will be an update, and these babies maybe can, yeah, they got 1 day, so once they're toddlers, I'll get them learning some stuff, and I'll give you that recap, and we'll go from there. So, I'll talk to you soon.